Welcome to the very first episode of Turn It Up with Behind the Crest. My name is Aiden Lee. Alongside here with me is Benjamin Ray, and Alex Lee will join us shortly. Turn It Up is going to be a brand new weekly sports show by Father Ryan's student media team, where we're going to be offering a ton of new stuff for you guys to get updated on. We're going to be interviewing athletes. We're going to have tons of segments analyzing the games, and we're going to be doing tons of fun stuff. So it's something you do not want to miss.
All right, for today's show, we'll start by previewing the regional volleyball tournament and discuss the volleyball team's incredible season. But before that, we'll begin with interviewing our first guest, Coach Zach Mettenberger, the head coach of your Father Ryan Irish football team. And then we'll have Oliver Stacey, senior player here for Father Ryan, defensive end. And then after that, we'll round it out with volleyball and soccer.
All right, so now introducing onto the show, the head coach, Mettenberger.
Fellas, good to see y'all. Am I in the middle?
Yes,
good
you are.
to see y'all. Oh, we got a script.
Yeah, we got the script. We're going to be scrolling down here. All right, Coach. First question here. What has been your main focus with the team this week as you prepare for Lipscomb Academy?
The big thing for us is we just gotta put a consistent 4 quarters together. We've shown capabilities throughout the year at times to play at a high level, but we just haven't done it consistently enough. I'm hoping tomorrow that we'll bring it all together and we'll play our best game yet.
And what excites you the most about this Father Ryan team that you're working with this year?
And no disrespect to the older guys, but we have a lot of talented young guys who've been playing a lot for us this year. And it's not ideal, but in terms of the future and developing young players, we've been able to do that this year. So the future looks very bright, but I want to try to make the last part of this year as meaningful and impactful to our seniors who are leaving.
And you talked about those younger players. How have you seen some of those players grow since the start of the season?
I mean, it's been tremendous. Just watching the guys each week progressively get a little bit better. That's all we really ask for in football. I mean, the next guest, Oliver, even though he's a senior, this is his first year playing football. He's grown a lot in the short amount of time that he's been part of the football team as well. So it's really not just young guys, it's older guys that we've gotten out that are new players, but also guys who have waited their turn to make an impact. But everybody's learning on the fly pretty much and learning with the reps that they're getting. And I like this group. They've been a cohesive group, and the leaders have been great. We're putting in the work to hopefully get the results that we want. So yeah.
And then, next question here, what do you think is the biggest strength of this team, and what's an area that you guys can work on?
Just being consistent. Like I said, the big thing for us is getting all 11 guys to do their job every single play and worry about nothing else. The tough thing about offensive football, if all 11 guys don't do their job, then the play can look, kind of jacked up. Defensively, same thing. If one D lineman doesn't fit his gap, then there's a 30-yard run. So we're just continually, chasing perfection in football to achieve excellence, but we still got a little ways to go to get there.
And what's your main message that you want the players to take into tomorrow night's game?
I just want them to play confident. When you're a young player, you don't necessarily see the ability and capabilities that you have. And I want these guys to believe that they're more than capable to make the plays that they need to make to win the games, and that they're talented enough to compete with the teams that we play against. I know a lot of the teams we play have a lot of guys that are going to play D1 football, and we aren't necessarily that program right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't beat that guy on Friday night before he goes to Saturday and play in the SEC or whatever it is. So when our guys believe that and execute on the field, I think we're going to be able to put it all together and finally get some wins.
And what has been your favorite memory with the group so far this season?
Oh, man. I guess the first game of the year, the win, was a highlight so far. It's been tough picking so far, and we've been really close, but I think that's probably been the best memory so far, is just celebrating that win, first game of the year, for all these guys to have that experience on Friday night.
All right, next, let's talk a little bit more about you. Do you have any pregame traditions or routines as a coach before a game?
I do not. I'm like anti-routine, gosh, what's the word? Superstitious. Yes, that's the word. I just kind of try to relax, play some music, try to get in my zone. I'm not a routine guy. I'm not a hype-up guy. When I was a player, a lot of people didn't like being around me before the game because I could somewhat be unserious at times, but that's just my process. I try not to make the moment too big, so I try not to give it too much life. So no, I don't really have any routines or pregame superstitions.
If you weren't coaching football right now, what do you think you would be doing?
That is like the hardest question. Honestly, I don't know. I'm probably manual labor. That's what my dad did, and I'm not the smartest guy or most talented other than throwing stuff, so that was probably the path that I would have got into, is just manual labor in some form or fashion, and start a business.
Nice. All right, last question here, Coach. Describe Father Ryan football in just 3 words.
Well, the mantra that we've been trying to push our guys to buy into is fun, and that acronym for us stands for Fast, United, and Nasty. We want our guys to play fast, play confident, communicate at a high level, know what they're doing. When you know what you're doing, you can play fast, play together, play united, all 11 guys chasing the ball, and then nasty. You got to have an edge. At the end of the day, football is still a combat sport, and you can't be passive in it, so we got to have a nasty mindset. But those are, I guess, the 3 words that I've been, trying to push into our guys to believe in and buy into.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach. That is our first guest, Father Ryan's head football coach, Zach Mettenberger. So thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
You too.
Love it.
All right, everyone. So that was head coach Zach Mettenberger there, our first guest, former LSU quarterback, former Tennessee Titans quarterback as well. Now let's welcome up our next guest. Our next guest coming up. All right, our next guest, welcome to the stage here, Oliver Stacey, senior defensive end for Father Ryan football. We heard Coach Mettenberger talking with him, and now I'll turn it over to Aiden for the interview.
All right, before we get started, Oliver, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great, guys. Thanks for having me out here. Really appreciate it.
Of course. Our first question for you is, Oliver, what made you decide to try football your senior year?
Honestly, I just wanted a lot of my friends were telling me to join, and I saw that we lost a lot of seniors, and I just wanted to help out the team, and I thought that I'd be a pretty solid player, and it's worked out really well for me. I honestly just texted Coach Met the first day that I knew I wanted to join. I said, I don't care where you put me, what you do with me. I just want to go out there and help the team in any way I can, and so I've tried to do that from day one, and yeah, that's why I decided to play, just because I think it was going to be a good opportunity for me, and it was just going to be a lot of fun with the guys. It's the last year, so I was just like, why not put the pads on? It's not going to.
All right, our second question for you is, what's your favorite part about playing on the line?
My favorite part about playing on the line is that you can be as aggressive as you want, and the more aggressive you are, the better. So I love that. I mean, just all day you're just, in the trenches, doing the dirty work for your football team. I mean, you have the opportunity to get sacks, to create a lot of pressure on the offense, to make a lot of reads, and you can just do so many different things on the line. It's an amazing opportunity for me, and I think it's right where I need to be. So yeah, that's fun.
All right, our third question is, do you have any pregame rituals or weird habits before kickoff?
Any weird habits before kickoff? Any rituals? Honestly, like the first game against Overton, man, I was so nervous to play in that game that I paced back and forth in the locker room for dang near 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I was really nervous, and that's what I did before every game. I just, for about 20 minutes, just walk around the whole locker room. I just don't stop. But yeah, that kind of helps me get the nerves down, just to breathe, just calm down. But I mean, man, before that Overton game, I was really nervous, but I was more excited than nervous. But yeah, probably just pacing around the locker room is a weird thing that I do before a game. Yeah.
And has that pressure gone away since you played more?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, first week of football, I was feeling that for sure. I had never played a football game in my life other than middle school. So, I mean, it's a lot different from where I came from at Williamson County middle school, out in Leapers Fork in the middle of nowhere, going from there to Father Ryan High School, playing some of the best teams in the state. I mean, best division in the state. So it was a lot of pressure, but I love it. I love it. It's amazing.
All right. And what keeps you motivated during practice and games?
Honestly, what keeps me motivated is just seeing all of my teammates going 100%. I mean, we've got a great group of guys, especially in practice. You can really see who wants to win football games and who maybe doesn't, but you look beside you to your left and to your right, and you're like, wow, these guys are going 100%. I mean, that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what helps me go 100% every play is that these guys are fighting every play, even if they're gassed, even if they're a lot of players, are having to play both sides of the ball because we just frankly don't have enough bodies to keep up with a lot of positions sometimes. So they're having to go in and just do the dirty work on both sides of the field. I mean, and it's very, very tiring. And to look up and see them just go at it every single play, that's what motivates me to do the best that I can do on the field.
All right, our next question for you is, with Father Ryan playing Lipscomb Academy, how do you stay focused and motivated for tomorrow's game?
Honestly, how I stay focused is just to, go back to the game plan and go back to what we've all done in practice all week. We just need to execute at a high level. We just need to play. We don't need to do anything out of our abilities, but we only need to do things that Coach Met has taught us. And he's got an amazing coaching staff that he put together, and every week we try as hard as we can in practice to maximize the chances to get in the win column and just do everything we need to do in that regard. But yeah, that's how I stay focused. I'm ready for this Lipscomb game, and it's going to be an amazing game.
All right, our next question for you is, how do you feel you make an impact on the defense and why?
I feel my impact is from my speed and my quickness with my hands. I think that, a lot of the guys that I have to go against, I'm going up against the left tackles, every game, and then sometimes now the nose guards. So, I mean, these guys outweigh me by, sometimes 60 to 70 pounds. So I'm going up against some really big dudes, and I really feel like it's a good thing for me to have my speed and my quickness because I can split the gaps really easily. I can cover a lot of ground where I'm at. If the play goes away from me, I can really chase it down and create a pursuit angle for me to do the best I can to make a play. And just a feeling of sacking the quarterback is something that I'll never forget. I mean, it's something that I strive for every week. So especially in practice, that's where I really try to lock in on the details, just the little things that'll help me and give me the best opportunity to make those big plays. But my role, I definitely feel like I can chase a lot of the offensive players down, the running backs. I don't feel like anybody is faster than me in this league that wants to get around the edge. So, that's where I think I play a role on the defensive line.
All right, and what's one lesson football has already taught you this season, and how will it make you a potential better basketball player if that's something you would do in the winter season? Yeah,
honestly, football, and especially what Coach Metz taught us, is that we just really need to focus on not taking the easy way out. Whether that's just going 80% on a play, 85% on a play, you can't do that. It's not going to work in our league. And, it'd be different if we had a bunch of 5-stars and 4-stars on the field that would just flip the field for us and get us a lot of other opportunities, but that's just not the case. We can't let up any play. So that's what's, stuck with me and is really just, I think, going to translate into the basketball is just never taking the simple route out. Even though you may be gassed on one play and you may not want to go 100%, you've got to look at your brothers and you've got to be like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And going into the basketball season, I think that's going to really reward me in that regard, and I can't wait.
All right. And if you could challenge any teammate to a random competition right now, what would it be?
The competition I would challenge is DeAntoine Malone to an arm wrestle, and I would make his arm snap.
All right. And our last question is, if someone wanted to try football late in high school, they want to start their senior year, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Do it, and don't think about it too much. I really thought about it for a good hot minute, and it took a lot of convincing from my friends. And Coach Met, talked to me a little bit about why he thinks I should do it. and stuff. And my cousin Ethan Stacey was really trying to convince me. So I had so many people convincing me. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I should do this or not. You know, this may not be for me. But it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. You know, you're never gonna regret doing something like that. You're never gonna look back in 10, 20 years and just be like, wow, I should never have played football. You know, that was really the wrong decision. You're gonna be out there on the field and just being like, wow, you know, I miss playing with my brothers. Those were some of the best times I've ever had on the field. So just please do it and don't look back. If you don't like it, you know, that's one thing. You can always stop, but you can never really start. So, I mean, I would just advise him to do it and don't look back.
All right, well, that's going to be all for our interview with Oliver Stacey. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, so that was Oliver Stacey, senior defensive end for Father Ryan football. You can watch Oliver this Friday as he takes on Lipscomb Academy at home at Giacosa Stadium. All right, now we bring in Alex Lee. Alex, let's talk some volleyball now. This team, they have looked really good as of late. They're now in the postseason. We've talked about that some, but they've won, here's a fun stat, they have won 9 out of their last 10 sets against Brentwood Academy, Lipscomb Academy, and JP2. So that's interesting. Alex, what would you say is the mindset going into these postseason games?
No, yeah, I mean, we definitely had to remain focused at all times. Like you said, we've been pretty dominant this season. We've pretty much dominated every single game, this regional game, besides CPA. That's definitely going to be a big game coming up, potentially championship matchup. But for the Irish fans, I would say Tuesday, October 7th, be there, support the team. It'll be at home. So just go out, support the team, and as far for the players, just make sure that you don't get it over your heads and treat it like a normal game. And I know Coach Mullins, she's been coaching for a long time. She's played for a long time, and she's grown around a volleyball family. So she knows a thing or two about really making sure that you're able to remain focused and not let the task get too big or too much to handle. Now, Benjamin, I got a question for you. What are some leaders that are going to be crucial for Father Ryan to win the tournament?
Well, I got to say, that's going to be Bella Burke and Heidi Green. The two main players, really. And, boy, have they been great for this Father Ryan volleyball team. Bella Burke hits that big milestone this week that we saw all over there, the 1,000 career assists for Father Ryan, and Tennessean Athlete of the Week nominee as well. She's got 63 assists, 20 digs, 4 kills, all of those in big wins. And she's committed to Queens. Meanwhile, look at Heidi Green. She is really good. Her nickname's Double Double, even at the school. Joined the 1,000 dig club, and she's already committed to James Madison University to play volleyball. So we've got a nice duo here, this Lady Irish volleyball team, and those two are who I would be leaning on as my true leaders of this team. As well, don't forget about some of the seniors too. One name that comes to mind is Mackenzie Crumby. We've seen her get some time in there, and she's a senior leader of this team. So those would kind of be my big 3 players to keep an eye on as senior leaders.
Yeah, I kind of touched on it briefly. What are your messages to maybe the students in the jungle or parents that are watching right now that potentially are thinking about going to the game? What are your kind of thoughts on that?
Well, it's a fun atmosphere. I've been to a game before, and it's an underrated atmosphere. That gym can get loud. We've been many times, both of us, to broadcast basketball games many times. Volleyball games, the gym can get loud, and that team, just like every team, they feed off of the crowd's energy, right? So they're going to be this team is going to be really looking for you guys at home to show up to the game.
Well, yeah, I couldn't say better than myself. Just the way I like to get it going. Final remarks here. Show up. It's going to be a great game. You don't want to miss it. If you won't be able to, we'll be having updates on Twitter and Instagram, and also be on NBC Sports Engine. But yeah, it's going to be a great game. They need a big win in order to place likely a really good CPA team Thursday, October 9th.
Yeah. And I'll actually also add one final thing. We'll see, but maybe next week, maybe we'll be doing this from CPA potentially. Maybe. So we'll see from there. Hopefully, and you guys will see a lot more from this volleyball team as well, for those of you at home who are wondering about that. Coach Mullins, we'll have her on at some point. We're going to look to have some of, again, those leaders that we were talking about of the team on the show. So, yeah, overall, really good things happening with that volleyball team as Aiden Lee now joins us here. So Aiden, let's talk about soccer now. You and Alex, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for joining us tonight. Yeah, basically what we were saying about postseason. The volleyball team is going into the postseason, but also the girls soccer team. On Tuesday they clinched the number one seed in the Division II AA Middle Region, and they are pretty much a top 10 team in Tennessee, potentially even top 5. From some people say they have top 5 team, but this team is very good. They've been able to dominate a lot of games so far. So they will be playing their bye into the semifinals on October 11th. What are some things the team has done to get to this point?
Well, I mean, I just want to say I would give a shout out to all the seniors who worked so hard all 4 years to get to this point. But mainly I want to point out Chloe Edwards, who can just do it all on the field. She can dribble very well, and her ability to score is something remarkable. She had a hat trick last night against Oakland, so 3 goals, and she has a ton of goals on the season, so she is going to be someone to look out for in the postseason. Also, I want to give a shout out to the defense, Beauty and Finley, who were able to defend the ball well and tackle and stop the opposing team. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're able to do in the region play and in the rest of the postseason. It's going to be a team to look out for, and they're going to be so fun to watch. All right, so Alex, for the next question that we have for you, it starts. Let's see, Alex, can you talk about the tournament and what are some teams that the Irish fans should look out for?
Yeah, I mean, this team, they've done pretty well against some other teams. There is still some very good teams in the region. Our one loss comes to Lipscomb Academy, the Mustangs. People kind of said that we should have had that game, but didn't end up in the Irish favor. So it doesn't matter who we're really playing. It's tournament time. We can lose to any team. So we've got to make sure we're focused and remain ready for the game. And also another team that is, I believe, the second seed in the tournament is Harpeth Hall. We beat them, but they are a very good team, and they could easily beat us if we're not paying attention. And our first game, it's a to-be-announced team. There's a few more games going on tonight, but we will be playing Saturday, October 11th. So tune in, go into that game as well. Like the volleyball game, we'll be giving updates. The 3 of us will be there giving updates on Twitter, Instagram. We'll have some of our behind-the-scenes guys taking photos, videos. So if you are not able to make it, you can follow us on there. But yeah, basically, Lipscomb Academy is our one loss in the region, but this is a very tough region. We cannot overlook any team. Aiden, any final remarks about the soccer team?
I believe that they have a chance to do very, very well in the postseason. So please go and watch their games and come out and support. To all you Irish fans and alumni that are watching this, go out, support, be your loudest there, because this team has worked really hard all season, and we're finally to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, and then next week, previewing the game next week against the team to be announced, we plan on having Coach Ataki and maybe some players. So if you have any ideas or if any players are watching right now, we would love to have some people, coaches and players, to talk about this very big game, one of the biggest games Father Ryan Soccer has had in a while. Now moving on to kind of the recap and maybe going more into the game against Lipscomb Academy tomorrow. I'm going to give it over to Ben.
Yeah, I mean, again, talked about the volleyball team and their dominance. We've talked about the soccer team and how they're doing. They're looking really good. But let's talk about tomorrow night's task for this Father Ryan football team. And it's a big one against Lipscomb. Lipscomb, they're a pretty good team. They've played some very good teams as well. We saw what they did a few years ago with Trent Dilfer, and then he goes over to UAB. They kind of go through a couple of coaches, but now it kind of feels like they're starting to kind of get back here to what they once were before they're with Dilfer. And they're a tough team. I think they've got a lot of good players. Cam Blivens is one of the players that comes to mind. We've seen him before. But this Father Ryan team, it wasn't great last week against JP2, but there's a lot that they can take from that game. Again, talking with Coach Mettenberger just here tonight is what he was saying was they've got a lot of young talent and a lot of young talent that can develop and be really good. So I think that this team, it's going to be a tough challenge tomorrow night. It's a tough task, but I think that this team is up for it. And I will also say that young talent, look for some of the younger players as well. in that game tomorrow night. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just bouncing off what you said. Yeah, thing with Campbell. They have a very, very athletic and very good wide receiver core. So making sure that we hold them to our rush, because I really like this rush defense. DeAntoine Malone, Ethan Stacey, they really do a really good job causing pressure on the running back. But the big task is going to be, other than the line that Oliver Stacey previously mentioned, but looking at the receivers, looking at the cornerbacks and the defensive backs. There's going to be a lot of pressure on them, so it's going to be, if they're up for the task. And my final remark is, just make sure, students, that you're there pink out.
Yeah, I would say that both of these teams, they want to win. Both teams are sitting even at 1-5, and if we look at it, the Father Ryan Irish, we have yet to win a region game, and we want to win. And we are determined. We have the passion, but we got to be able to we're going to be able to work hard, and have all this practice will show what we actually did and what we're made of. So Father Ryan playing Lipscomb tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time kickoff. It's going to be a fun one.
And as you guys both mentioned, I'll say it for the third time, be there, because this team needs you. Just talking with the players, they feed off of the jungle. When the jungle is full, when the jungle is rocking, right? When Irishman's doing 20-plus push-ups, the vibes are high.
I can do
so
those. I can do those.
You can do those. I don't know if I can do those, but
Right here.
yeah, we can. Maybe we'll put that to the test.
Maybe
One of these shows.
Next game.
You know what?
Hey, you know what?
Let's make. Yeah.
Next game may not be the best sight. However many points we put against Lipscomb, I'll be doing that many push-ups.
I like that. You know what? And I'll match it as well.
Okay.
So there you have it. However many points we put against Lipscomb, Alex and I will both do those same push-ups live next week on the show. Okay? So there we go. So there's our little thing to close. Let's see. Yeah. All right, Alex, any final remarks here?
We gave a shout-out again. Yeah, so we just like to give a final shout-out here to Crow's Nest Green Hills for letting us film at their location. Thank you, Mr. Francisco and Coach Curran, and helping us get the equipment set up here. And we also would like to thank the student athletes and coaches for taking time out of their day for coming here tonight and joining us. Also, we'd like to give a special thanks to Weston Castle, Campbell Cole, and Lewis Aden for their incredible work behind the scenes. Everyone that goes unnoticed, we definitely notice you, and thank you tonight. And anyway, I'm Alex over here with Ben and Aiden, and I hope y'all turned it up tonight. Y'all have a wonderful night.